Bears. And I said this yesterday. When Justin Fields went for just a 6th-round pick, it's actually good news for the Bears. Because NFL personnel people are telling you, yeah, the gap between Caleb and Justin is the Grand Canyon, and you still won 7 games with that quarterback. So in a weird way, going for a 6th-round pick, to me, I felt like, oh, this team's ready to win now. And I don't want to get too hyperbolic on it because it's the Bears, and they, that culturally they're always off. But if you ask your typical listener, and fans can be, they're fans, they emote. But I don't think it's crazy to say, yeah, this can be a playoff team. Does that seem too much too soon?
Not at all. We saw C.J. Stroud win a playoff game last year, and he did not enter a situation that was half as good, at least how we thought about it 12 months ago, as the one that Caleb Williams is walking into. And we know that Caleb was a higher level prospect than C.J. Stroud. So we see rookie quarterbacks, if they are talented and they go into good situations, have success early. Justin Herbert, he had 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions as a rookie. I don't know why Caleb Williams couldn't be the first Bears quarterback ever to throw for 30 touchdowns or the first Bears quarterback ever to throw for 4,000 yards as a rookie. And if they won 7 games without him, the expectation is certainly to win more than 7 games with him, because it's not just him that they added. They should have upgraded at play caller. They certainly upgraded at wide receiver 2 with Keenan Allen. They certainly upgraded at wide receiver 3 with Roma Dunze. They upgraded with DeAndre Swift. This offense should have gotten a lot better this offseason.
So we were talking.
Okay, he's going to now talk about not Chicago Bears stuff. So I really wanted to focus on this for a moment. We've been talking about this a lot, right? And it's been a lot of the same conversations because there's only so much that's happening. But what I think is interesting is the media and the fan base slightly starting to turn? Because I was in the very beginning saying that I think Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears can make the playoffs. I've said that they're going to be at least one of the 7 best teams in the NFC. Therefore, they're going to be there, right? Like, that is what I'm very comfortable saying. But you still surprisingly saw a lot of media pushback from that, and even fan pushback. I have a lot of Chicago Bears fans that are, anti that and saying that's not true. And there are legitimate, genuine people that still believe that Caleb Williams is worse than Justin Fields. And a lot of Chicago Bears fans still saying that. On this channel, I read all the comments. That's what I'm largely basing that off of. And it's like still so shocking to me. And what Colin is saying is what has been kind of the logic as to why the Chicago Bears will be better than what maybe people realize, is that the football world is saying Justin Fields is not good. He is not good. We are not putting the blame on the Chicago Bears. Yes, we know the Chicago Bears don't have the best track record, but we all have eyes. We can see Justin Fields is just not him no matter where he went. And that's why, he went for pretty much nothing. And therefore, that when you do add Caleb Williams, and you're going to be just light years better, that you already were able to win 7 games with a quarterback that the NFL as a whole is saying, we don't think he's that good. And now you're out Justin Fields. Like, of course this team should be able to win 9, 10, 11 games. Like, Caleb Williams just has to be just good, not even great or elite, and they should be able to win those games. Like, that is the logic. And it is actually pretty decently sound logic. We know the NFL, the coaches, the fans, the front office, the ownership, they are greedy. They are greedy. And the NFL as a whole is pretty decent at evaluating talent. I understand it's not the best track record going from college into the pros, right? That's always just like a roll of the dice. But once a player is in the NFL, they're playing games, and all the coaches get to see, and they either face them, head to head, whatever it may be, they're pretty good. Very rare does the NFL decide this quarterback's not good, this running back's not that good, whatever, and that now they go to another team and they end up great. There's definitely some examples of that, but it's just not, they have a good track record, right? Because now you're talking about Andy Reid, Shanahan, McVay, right? Like, you're having all of these people pretty much say no, or yes, whatever it may be, right? So you're now having the greatest minds in all of football make that decision. And it's like, if any of these teams thought that Justin Fields was for real and it was just all of the Chicago Bears mess, then Justin Fields would have gone for more, right? The Eagles would have made a bigger play to get Justin Fields. The Giants would have made a bigger play to get Justin Fields. The Seahawks, the Rams. Stafford's getting older, right? Like getting that is, at any moment Stafford keeps getting banged up, like, and they have a legit roster, and Sean McVay is like wants to ball out. Like, he would have, went after Justin Fields. Like, there's just all of these opportunities that someone could have gotten Justin Fields and would have made a play for him, and they didn't. So that's why I just think that if you're a Chicago Bears fan, you should let go of this idea that the Chicago Bears fail Justin Fields. They may have not done as good of a job at supporting him like they look like they're going to do with Caleb Williams, but let go of this idea that the Chicago Bears just completely failed Justin Fields, and be happy now that they're going all in on supporting Caleb Williams, and therefore this team should be rocking and rolling like very quickly. Like, they're going to have their growing pains. Caleb Williams is going to have some crazy interceptions. It's just going to be what it is. But that the sky is the absolute limit. Like, I would like to see the Bears fans, like, just, like, kind of cross over to this optimism finally and just be excited, just be proud, and not this whole idea. Because I made a video the other day from Speak For Yourself, whatever the heck it's called these days, where Acho was pretty much saying that the Chicago, that there's reason to believe that Caleb Williams won't be great because the Chicago Bears historically don't have great quarterbacks. And I called nonsense on that, right? As the cool kids say, Cap, like, it was nonsense to me to say that because the Bears have not had good quarterbacks in the past, therefore we can expect maybe Caleb Williams to not be as great. And it's just like an insane statement to make, because my whole argument was that there's nothing inherent to the Chicago Bears. It's not like they have a water supply that just damages quarterbacks, right? Or like an insane environment, like they literally play on the moon and it's just harder to throw, and so little by little it just degrades quarterbacks. Like, it's just an absurd statement. They have a bad track record, sure, but it doesn't mean that if you're a great quarterback, you ought, because his whole thing was that even great quarterbacks would go to Chicago and be bad, right? Like, he was saying it's fundamental to who Chicago is. And I just wholeheartedly disagree with that. So if you believe Caleb Williams is a great quarterback, well, then you're going to believe that he's going to be a great quarterback with the Chicago Bears. And it's funny, when I made that argument, people were really angry about it. Like, they were like, no, Chicago Bears deserve all the blame. Look what they did to Justin Fields. Like, it was just all them pretty much like defending the argument that the Chicago Bears are fundamentally a bad organization. And I reject that. Have they been great in recent years? Like, no, and that's fine. But many franchises have not been great in recent years. There's only like a collection of 4 or 5, 6 franchises that have consistently been top level for the last like 20 some years, right? And that was the Patriots for a while, the Chiefs more recently, the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Ravens. Like, these are the top teams that have like the highest playoff wins in the last, say, 15, 20 years or so, right? Like, everyone else, it has been like very inconsistent. And like, maybe you're a team like the Giants where you pull off a Super Bowl win here, but then like you haven't done anything for the last like decade. Or it's like the Cowboys where you've been like pretty good, making playoffs, winning some games, but then like nowhere close to an NFC Championship game. So I don't see why the Chicago Bears need to be magnified as apparently just this like next level failing organization. I feel like there's 2 things that happened recently that made people really believe that the Chicago Bears are just this awful, going nowhere franchise in more recent memory, because I think most fans have no idea what happened in the 70s and the 80s and even the early 90s. But I think it's the not drafting Patrick Mahomes, which, surprise, surprise, lots of people didn't draft Patrick Mahomes, as well as then the Justin Fields, right? They didn't get Patrick Mahomes, then they get Justin Fields. Justin Fields was seen as this great player, and then he wasn't great for them. And they see it as, this is just what happens when you're the Chicago Bears. You're just going to fail. You're going to fail quarterbacks. You're just destined to be awful for years to come. And quite frankly, I personally do not see it that way. So I'm really excited to see what Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears can do, and it is interesting to see if the media will slowly start to, sing those praises, because it seems like people were willing, at least within the last couple months or so, they're willing to say, I believe Caleb Williams will be great, and I think that the Chicago Bears are going to be better. But you have like big, main, popular people in the media, ex-football players even, saying, I don't even think that the Bears will make the playoffs. And now it seems like that's slowly changing. So it's going to be really interesting to see what people's opinions are and how they change within the next month or so as we get closer and closer to this season. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears are going to be poised to kind of hit the ground running and be successful right off the bat? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.